The only thing that matters about anything that's happened in the last 2 weeks, not tariffs, not politics, not world events, the only thing that is capable of mattering is that we had Silksong, a little 3-second snip in the Nintendo Direct. And that's the only part of the Direct that I cared about. It was the only part of video game journalism that was worth looking at. If it wasn't Silksong related, I had absolutely no interest in any of it. I am going to say, I bet it will come out before 2028. That's my new, prediction.
Didn't it say 2025?
It did say 2025, and I think 2 years ago it said 2023. So
okay.
I'm gonna guess 2028 release dates. It'll be a PS6 launch title with a full physical release. Well,
okay.
Welcome.
You heard it here, folks.
Yep. Welcome to Overthinking Games. This is a podcast about overthinking video games. Is that what it's about? What video games can teach us?
It's a podcast about what video games can teach us.
Yeah, we have not recorded for like a month. My name is Dempsey. Welcome to this. We are not a news podcast, but we are going to kind of play the IGN kind of news podcast game today, and talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. I think we could also talk about like our broader relationship with the Switch and Nintendo. There's a bunch of Nintendo adjacent topics we can talk about. And then
I have thoughts. I'm
other
excited
people need
about this.
Yeah, other people need to introduce themselves. So go, Katie.
Okay. I'm Katie. I'm a special education teacher and not a huge fan of Nintendo games, actually. But I'm excited to be talking about this today because I thought most of it was boring and some of it was very interesting. Go ahead, Seth.
Hi, I'm Seth. I am a regular education teacher. I thought the Direct was great. I was eating that shit up.
Yeah, I mean, they announced I think this is my theory about Silksong, is that Silksong was always going to be a Switch 2, maybe not release title, but I think Silksong was tied to the Switch 2. And the Switch
thought.
And the Switch 2 got pushed back a year, and so Silksong got pushed back. That's what I think.
But they couldn't just say that?
No,
nah.
I don't know.
It would ruin the vibe.
Cherry doesn't like.
No,
they're
because
like, we've took a vow of silence. We must be silent for a whole year to show our devotion to the gods.
Well, I think right after Silksong, they got a bunch of death threats, and so they've become very cold toward their community.
Right after Silksong?
Yeah, so right after Silksong reveal, like I think like for like 18 months, there was a period where they were getting a bunch of death threats, and then really just took a step back of. And it's a really common thing with indie devs. The same thing with the Hotline Miami devs as well, where like they got a bunch of like toxicity and death threats, and so they decided not to interact with the community as much. I think it's really interesting, like independent developers that don't end up making a second game, or that the second game takes a long time. That's like a really common, like Eric Barone with Stardew Valley, the people who made Celeste, Silksong. There's like this first generation of indie games that are kind of giants, and then the second generation that it's really hard to do a second game, which I think is fascinating. Famously, Disco Elysium, the studio made one of the best games ever made, and then broke apart into like 5 different studios, all claiming to be the Disco Elysium studio.
But didn't they have? Disco Elysium, which was very strongly critiquing capitalism, pretty sure that they got absorbed by a super rich CEO type.
Part of them did. So they were a creative like commune. So they actually did not have any leadership. And when there's differences and there's no hierarchy, they just all split up because there was no leadership. And so part of them got bought by, but like the director was also accused for workplace harassment. Anyways, the point is that second indie games, it's really interesting how many really important indie games have a really good first game, and then the second game still does not exist. The creators of Celeste canceled Earthblade. Like that had a trailer and everything, and it just no longer exists. Anyways, none of that matters. What does matter is what I've been playing this week. And by week, I mean the last month. So I have a couple. This is going to take a while. Get comfy.
Here we go.
I have a couple games. First of all, I rolled credits on Split Fiction, which I do not think I talked about at all because I hadn't started it the last time we recorded. Split Fiction, all the discourse is over. If you wanted to play this game, you have. If you wanted to have an opinion on this game, people already have their opinions. This is mine. I think
Wait, pause.
it's not as good as It Takes Two.
Okay, I'm going to play it this summer with my husband, so no spoilers.
Okay. I think
I would agree.
there are moments where like the heights of Split Fictions, I think, are higher than the highs of It Takes Two. But I think taken as a whole package, the one thing that Split Fiction does not do that It Takes Two does way better, way more consistently, is set design and like environment design. Split Fiction, in my opinion, has a lot of really boring generic environments.
I would agree.
And that could be part of the narrative or whatever, but I think like they don't feel like interesting, unique spaces. They feel like genre pieces in the most like generic, lame way possible. That's not to say that they're not fun ideas. I think one of the funniest bits I've ever played in a video game with the cell phone was in Split Fiction. That set piece was fantastic.
Oh, that was really funny. I could not. Rachel was doing the. Katie won't spoil too much for this, but like Rachel was doing I think the piloting.
Sure.
And I was doing the cell phone bit. And she's focusing on piloting. I'm focusing on doing the cell phone bit. And I'm just like, I'm so locked into what I'm doing. And then they just had you doing like stupid stuff. And I was like, okay, this is funny. Like, this is a good bit.
Yeah, it's a great bit. And then there's a dragon. You will get dragons. And I think that was the weakest part of either games. Like Split Fiction had both lower lows and higher highs. The dragon bit is so stupid. I think that whole level is bad and dumb. The pinball bit was incredible. The game turns into a pinball platformer, and that 10 out of 10, fantastic. That whole level was good. And then the end is one of the coolest things I've ever played in video games before. Like the end of Split Fiction.
I'm excited for that.
The end of Split Fiction is, I don't know how they did it. I don't know. Like I've played something where I'm like, oh, I actually cannot conceptually, functionally understand how this is happening on my screen right now. It's so, it feels like it took a lot of work. And it's the coolest thing by far in the whole game. Joseph Ferris talks about, who's the director and the CEO of Hazelight, talks about how he started with the end sequence in mind and worked backwards. And you can absolutely 100% tell that's what the whole game is.
Cool.
If you had any enjoyment of It Takes Two, it's probably more sophisticated collaboration, actually. Like you will be communicating with your partner more. And I think the puzzles are more difficult and the gameplay in general takes a little bit more skill. I just do not think the environments are I loved It Takes Two environments so much. Like I loved the winter place when you're skating around in the snow globe. I loved the space setting with the monkey, the garden. All of those settings were way more interesting than any settings in Split Fiction. And I think because the writing's so weak, in order to feel engaged in the world, environment design is so important. But so yeah, there's a lot of good gags in Split Fiction. There's a lot of the mini worlds. So instead of having mini games that are competitive, there are these little pocket dimensions that you go into, and a lot of those have really crisp, clean ideas that they play with for a little bit and then move on from. The plot is anti-AI, which is pretty cool. Anyways, if you've played it, I think it's definitely worth playing. It still might be like a contender for Game of the Year. This is not a bad game by any means. It's just I really, really miss the focus on environments that It Takes Two had. There's times where the characters like sit on a bench and you can get to see the scenery. And in those moments, it is cool, but it's not as good as It Takes Two in that regard.
So the scenery is not orgasmic.
No.
Or no, masturbatory. Sorry, masturbatory.
So here's the thing: the characters are just as masturbatory about how beautiful it is, but I don't think it's as warranted because the characters will be like, "Oh, this world that you've made is so beautiful," and you're like, "Well, I mean, it's kind of like
you're
a
like
generic
just because you say it is
world.
Doesn't make it true."
And there's a lot of and people have problems with the narratives and things like that, but I think
traditionally the weakest part of any of those games. Like A Way Out was fairly weak as well.
Yeah,
It Takes Two was pretty weak.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish that it was written by someone else. I wish that they had better writing ideas. I think that could have really elevated this one. Like if it was It Takes Two with better writing, that could have been Game of the Year. I don't think this will get on Game of the Year lists even because people have already seen it in It Takes Two, and the writing wasn't. I don't know. I don't know how big of a splash it will make, but anyways, so that's Split Fiction. Very beautiful. Recommend. I would give it like an 8 out of 10. It's great. And then I played Wanderstop, which is a cozy tea game made by Davey Wreden, who's a guy that made the Stanley Parable and the Beginner's Guide. And it's published by Annapurna Interactive. And it's about an 8-hour game. And it is good. It's not I think have either of you guys played it? Did either of you guys play it?
I haven't played it yet, but
Okay.
I'm going to.
So I'll try to talk about it without spoilers.
Better.
I think as an author, Davey Wreden, whatever his last name is better a writer. It's like the opposite of Split Fiction. I think that if it was a more mechanics focused game, it actually could have said more about the ideas than it ended up doing. So this is like a mechanically heavy game, way more so than a Stanley Parable or, this is like about, and the mechanics are good, but I do think that if the game was stronger mechanically, it could have made for stronger themes in what he's exploring. I think it seems like he is, from the Beginner's Guide and then from this game, he's really interested in shitty people, like people who are not good people, and people who are trying to come to grips with the fact that they're not good people, and how to. But this game is like a continuation of the Beginner's Guide, because this is like, okay, once you come to grips with the fact that you're kind of a shitty human being, and it's not just in your head, but you actually are a bad person, where do you go from there? And so this game, it's not necessarily about like redemption, but it is about like self-redemption. And I want him to make a third game that's about like commutative redemption or redemption with someone else. But I do think that mechanically, really small things like the fact that, so it's really focused on leisure and seeing labor as a way to do something with your hands in which nothing is expected of you. However, when characters have something to say, there's a big thing on top of their head and you can't turn that off. And so even though the game is saying that it's about like taking your time and dealing with burnout and things like that, you still feel the pressure of getting everyone served because you can see when they have new needs. And I think allowing that process to happen more organically, like you go to them and, or like, or like there's a more subtle way to tell if people need like maybe, some way to like check in on people without that stimulus constantly being there, I think would have made this game a lot better. Also, I think he's a fucking coward for not including a post game. I think I think this game this game should be more complicated, and I think that you should be able to play it not like like you should be able to keep playing it because it has a mechanic that feels like you should be able to keep playing it. But besides that, the writing is incredible. It's absolutely incredibly written. It's so beautiful. It's exploring ideas that I've never seen explored in a video game or even in a lot of fiction. Like it's the sentence craft, like sentence by sentence. I think once you start getting used to what's happening, it hits a lot better. Like if it sounds strange at first, and then you understand what the game's doing, and then I think it's really, really, really good. And then also kind of fucks with your expectations on what you want out of a game in ways that are actually interesting. And there's a couple moments where I was like really affected by like, oh, I'm actually not going to get closure out of this situation. Like genuinely, actually, there is no closure to be had here. And how am I or my character going to deal with that? Which I think is a bold move. I think it's beautiful. I want this to be like his first step into a mechanically focused game, and then I would like him to keep making games and thinking mechanically, because I think there's a lot to say. But yeah, I think it's beautiful. It's not as good as the beginner's guide.
What is?
I don't think it's anywhere close to that good, but I do think it's very, very, very good. And it might be my game of the year this year. I've also been playing Demon Souls, so I've been playing Split Fiction, which is action heavy, but not really challenging. It's kind of made to be pretty seamless. And then Wanderstop, which is not challenging at all. It's actually like an anti-challenge game. And so I started playing Demon Souls, and that game is a real big fuck you game. Like, and I think it's so much more interesting than Elden Ring. Like, the boss designs are like, there's specific ideas and themes around the bosses in a way that I did not feel in Elden Ring. And like the bosses are like exploring specific ideas in a way that I don't know. I was just really, I thought it was going to be shitty. I thought it was going to be like poorly designed or boring, or like, yeah, this is like the worst version of this idea. And I'm playing the PS5 remake. Like, I thought it was going to be like a worst Elden Ring, and it's not at all. Like,
is Demon Souls the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the way the geography works is always really like, I'm constantly surprised. There's one boss who, this is a spoiler for Demon Souls. But you need this. What?
It's a game that came out on the PS3. I think you're fine.
Okay. So where you can kill the boss, but if you don't kill an NPC somewhere else in the level, you can't actually kill the boss. And so the boss just keeps coming back. I think it was at that moment I was like, oh, this game fucking sucks. This is so fucking stupid. Because I'm not great at these games. And so for me, there was like a sense of accomplishment in beating this boss. And then like the health bar wouldn't go away. And I had to be like, what the fuck? And then I came back, and then the boss was there again. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? How did you figure out
that you have to...
I had to go to a guide. How do you figure out
that you have to kill someone?
I just have to go to a guide. Like, there's so many things, and I have no shame in that.
That's what I've heard about it, like super opaque.
Yeah. And I've been like, oh. And the thing is, I met that NPC, and I was like, he doesn't seem like a person who deserves violence. He's just like kind of sitting here casting spells. But the spell, you have to kill him. And I think there's so many things like that where like, there's so many moments of genuine surprise. The first time a dragon comes on screen, like it's such a cool setup. So you're getting more comfortable dealing with basic enemies, right? And you can take on like 3 or 4 at a time, and you feel good. And then you step to this bridge, and there's like 30 right in front of you. and you're like, oh my god, this is so stressful. And then like the moment you step on the bridge, this big dragon comes and then like blows fire on all these enemies, and then it sets up for like a pretty fun bridge based kind of march up to this big castle. But like there's so many moments of like brilliant surprise which I was not expecting at all. How people talk about Dark Souls and like the Souls series, I guess, I just didn't expect it to be so like imaginative and fun, and like all of the like so far like it's like some of the bosses will be like a big guy, but then there's like a bunch of archers you have to take care of first. And that's fun. Or like the first boss is just a bunch of slugs, which is one of the funnest boss designs ever, especially because it's in like you're just learning it, like it's kind of in, like a tutorial boss almost. And and there's a way to beat it very easily, and you know you can kind of figure out through context clues to use fire. But it's so fun to like, oh, this is like just a big mass of slugs, and it's so disturbing. And then also I think understanding that what your build is might impact which levels to go to first. So there's kind of a hub world, and then you can go to different levels that have like levels off of them through the hub world. And like if you're a melee strength build, so I'm a knight with no magic, and so but that means that like I want to do different like my path through the game is a little bit different than what is suggested for people who are like a mage build or something like that. And I think that's I don't know, I'm just really surprised of how deep it is, how expressive it is. There's such like a good understanding of player behavior, because it will anticipate my moves and then punish me for things that it had to anticipate me. Like it's such a good exercise in empathy, because it knows what I'm feeling and what I'm going to do, and then its response to that is "fuck you, I hate you, stop playing this game," which I think is yeah, I don't know, Seth. How do you feel? I don't know. How do you feel about the game? I'm loving it so far. I think it's it's a lot better.
I
than
like Demon Souls. Like Demon Souls is, I think it was interesting for me coming off of having played like a lot of all the Souls games and Bloodborne, and Elden Ring wasn't out yet because I played Demon Souls first. But going back to what was sort of like the root of my favorite game genre and like series, and saying like, okay, like how did this evolve over time is very interesting to me. Just in terms of like, oh, this is how this idea would eventually evolve into like something in the future games, was just like something that was interesting for me. But I mean, yeah, like Demon Souls is not a bad game. There's certainly some elements of it that are like frustrating. I do think there are some boss designs that you play it and you're like, this sucks. But there are some of them that are really, really good. I think most of the frustrating part for Demon Souls is in some of the, like, if you really want to get into it, like some of the really obscure mechanics for like world tendencies, which is a lot worse in the original game than in the remake.
Okay.
Like drop rates for certain items, like 100%ing that game sucks.
Yeah, that sounds scary. I have no interest in that. I just want to see the world.
Right. And I think like in terms of seeing the world, and I think understanding Demon Soul as a like entry point for like, okay, this would eventually evolve into Dark Souls, and then trying to like understand that like flow through, I think it's really interesting as like a historical piece for me. But it's also just a good game, like you said.
I haven't tried them because I'm not good at hard games. Like, I love Hollow Knight, but the music and the art style are a big part of what got me to try it in the first place. And if it looked like Dark Souls, I probably wouldn't have done it. So I was like, oh, it's really pretty. I'm going to try it out. And then I was like, oh, I like this game. And then I was like, oh, it's really hard. And I've never beaten it. And I gave myself tendon damage playing it. But
see, but Dark Souls is also really pretty. You just got to like
soured
for what
my
it is.
confidence to play games like that. I'm like, I don't think I'm good enough to play games like that. I wouldn't have fun with it, but I'm also like intrigued by them. So do you have like, what do you think, Dempsey? Is the difficulty curve such that
so I would
you're
say
just going to bounce off, or
I would say it helps me to, first of all, view it as you're exploring first. There's an exploratory phase to all of the things, and then eventually you'll get to the boss. Don't
in Hollow Knight?
Yes, don't think about it as going from boss to boss, because then it would be, it's like, and also I would say turning to a guide before you get frustrated for me has helped a lot, because like,
Okay.
I would say like, yeah, like, and a lot of the things that you will get stuck with, other people have gotten stuck with too. So it's kind of easy to Google this stuff because it's the same stuff that everyone
And
is experiencing.
Been out for so long.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I think the difficulty curve is fine. I think it's like, it's challenging. And I think that if it's really hard or if something seems really impossible, so far there has been something else that I could do or another way I could approach it that I have found success in.
Interesting.
That's been my experience so far. That
Dempsey's also kind of playing on hard mode, like straight melee build, like Demon Soul specifically. Like magic is like the cheat code for that game. Like you can just kind of magic.
Are
does
we
like
surprised
insane
that
damage.
Dempsey's playing it on hard mode?
No, he just naturally seems to gravitate towards that. But
He's like, what way could I play this to make it the most miserable it could be?
So for people who've played Elden Ring though, and for people who've only played Elden Ring, and I've played a little bit of Sekiro, and which I think I might go back to. But here's the thing: Demon Souls.
Sekiro?
What is it called? Anyways,
Sekiro.
yeah. But Demon Souls is a much more curated, clever experience than I found Elden Ring. Elden Ring is kind of like this vast, big, kind of epic quest. And in my experience, Demon Souls has been a lot more, just a lot more specific. Like it feels like it's built around set pieces and moments more.
see, Dempsey, I want you to follow up from playing Demon Souls and play Dark Souls 1.
Okay.
Because I think if you follow up, because didn't you say you played a little bit of like Dark Souls 3 or something, or like you watched somebody did?
Yeah.
I think if you go back and you get to experience what it's like to play Dark Souls 1 after coming out of Demon Souls, I think it's going to make a lot more sense to you.
Okay. Yeah, and the PS5
in terms of like how to experience it.
Sure. Okay, and then one more. I have been playing Minecraft.
Yo, so was I.
And so here's the thing. Minecraft is good. Also, I don't actually know what Minecraft is anymore. So I bought it for my PS5 because I can't have it on my Steam Deck. And like there's a store that you go into and then you can like buy other Minecraft games inside of Minecraft. It's like a platform. Like there's a SpongeBob game, but it's like Minecraft SpongeBob. And like, but it's like the mechanics of Minecraft, but in SpongeBob. And then like different brands have like different shitty games you can get for like $5. They don't look like they're worth money. I have not bought any of them, and then like you can buy like so like it has like a kind of a mod store on the console version. So like you can buy elements to augment your playing experience, which I think is an interesting idea. I think it's so dumb that they're all paid though. Like Baldur's Gate has a mod program as well, but they're free. So
why can't you play it on your Steam Deck, Dempsey?
Because I am a coward and don't know how to install it. Because you can't buy it through Steam.
So there's two different versions of
it.
Minecraft, just as a heads up. So there's Java edition of Minecraft, and then there's Bedrock edition Minecraft. Java edition Minecraft is what you play like if you're playing it on your computer and you're not playing like the integrated version of Minecraft that like comes with Windows. Like if you download it from the Minecraft website, I think usually you're playing Java version. That's the version that you could do like all the normal Minecraft modding. That's like the original version of the game. That's the version that's in Java. The version of Bedrock Edition is essentially actually the Minecraft remake It's written in C++, and that's the cross-platform version that is on like consoles. You can also play it on PC. That's
Sure.
like the mobile version of Minecraft. So you can almost think of it as like that's the version of Minecraft that's more or less managed by Microsoft. And the Java edition is more of like the in-house managed version of the game.
Got you. Okay, that makes sense.
So that's why it's got shitty monetization.
Yeah, and it was really distracting and made me kind of sad. Like I was like, there is something pure about Minecraft. And then I started watching Minecraft Civil. Okay, this is off topic. I started watching Minecraft Civilization.
No.
We're like, have you ever watched these videos?
Yeah,
they're bad. They're like bad reality TV. Like they're on the like they're do not come to these videos looking for quality entertainment. But they're basically like this 1,000 people simulated a civilization in Minecraft.
I'm thinking of something else. Sorry.
No,
I'm thinking of Parkour Civilization.
Oh, no. These are just like almost, like little servers that big YouTubers run where they have their fans act out a civilization and then there's like political drama within the Minecraft servers.
Oh, are they LARPing?
Kind of, yeah. So like LARPing
like
as in like
LARPing.
Is it in game or is it in the real world?
No, it's in game, but like different.
Oh.
So like because there's so many people, they'll organize themselves, and then the people who make the server will like put certain structures in there to. I don't know how much of this is fake or not, but it seems real because there's so many people saying that they were a part of it. So I think it would be anyways, but they'll like set up like, okay, 250 people on each island. Each island has certain resources. And then the island will like become a democracy or become a dictatorship, or like certain personalities will get bigger, or like people will specialize in labor. Like some guy really wants to run a chicken restaurant. And so that's the thing that he'll do. And then that's like the role that he plays in this Minecraft society.
That sounds like there's like a Red Dead Redemption role playing.
Yes.
Online server that sounds like.
Yes. And so anyways, and so that experience has been turned into these like hour-long Minecraft videos that make me feel like I'm 12 watching them. And they're not good, but they're so addictive. They're edited like a really long Mr. Beast video. Like this horrible dopamine switch that it just constantly flicks on and off with like cuts and edits. And like I'm sure this is like really fucking up me, and also like the middle schoolers whose target audience is for.
I can confirm that the middle schoolers are not okay.
Cannot be good for our brains. But Minecraft, though, it's a good game. I started making my little world. I've started to play video games without podcasts, and focus more on the music and sound design and things like that. Play with good headphones on. Without any other, and that has actually changed my experience, and I think it's worth doing. Hearing,
I need to do that.
Yeah, Demon Souls. It's like, for example, Demon Souls. It's really tempting because it's kind of repetitive and it's difficult to like put on a podcast or something like that. But no, like doing, I don't know. The game sounds are normally important, and in Minecraft, it's actually been nice to like experience the Minecraft music and things like that. So yeah, Minecraft's good too. Okay, Katie,
to have like
what have you been playing?
Single attention.
Yes.
On something, right?
Yeah.
I think that's something like I will often play The Long Dark while I listen to something else. And I find myself like struggling to have single focus when I game. So that's actually something I've been wanting to work on. And I will probably practice when I play Citizen Sleeper Starward Vector, which is what I have started playing recently.
How is it?
It's so good. It's the second of the Citizen Sleeper games, and Citizen Sleeper, the first one, was one of my very favorite games of all time, and I was excited / like trepidatious about the second installment. It's so good. You play as a completely different character in a completely different part of the galaxy, in a completely different situation. I'm okay with it. I was a little bit like, I'm super connected to that character in the previous game, and I wasn't sure how they were going to continue, but so far it's like a completely different story in the same world. And they've added a bunch of interesting complexities to the game mechanics. So now you can do contracts. And in order to do contracts, you have to have supplies and fuel in order to get out there. And I've actually had terrible success. Like, none of my missions go right. It's really hard. And I did start over once because I was drinking and playing the first time, and I was like, I don't think this was optimal. So I started over. I was like, I'm going to make good decisions. And it still turned out really poorly for me. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to, you know what? I'm just going to go with it. It's like sometimes, a critical failure in D&D brings about the most interesting results. So I am just going through it. And you play as a sleeper, one of the AI characters, who has like escaped from some kind of like, I'm not really sure, like organized crime dude or something. And you have a friend, but you've lost your memory. So you're escaping with this friend who you don't remember. And you're trying to escape while this guy chases and hunts you down. So it's still very much Blades in the Dark has been made into a sci-fi video game. It's so much fun. The dice mechanics are so good, and the writing is beautiful. The sounds and the ambiance is great. The art is beautiful. I saw somebody criticizing it. They're like, it's just text. They don't even voice act it. And I was like, yeah, this is a books level boring game, and if you don't like it, go somewhere else. Like, that is what we're here for. So I love it. It's super fun. I think that the new mechanics that they've come up with for like contracts, and then the way that they've kind of changed things a little bit, like you get a new ability called your push ability, and depending on the class that you've picked, it's a different thing. So for my class, my push ability is I can I can re-roll one of my dice while I'm out on a contract to try to get a better result. And so it's just kind of deepened that dice element a little bit. And I think it's really good so far. I'm not super far yet, but I'm looking forward to getting into it more.
Do you think playing the first one? So I played the first one too, and I loved it. I don't think I finished it though, which I should probably finish that game because I really loved what I played. I probably got distracted by something else. Do you think that playing the first one is important? Like, or do you feel like it's not?
Not as far as I can tell. At this stage, I don't know if it interacts later, like if they intersect later. But at this stage, no, they're completely standalone. The only thing I would say is if you're not familiar with tabletop RPGs, then playing the first one really helps you with the mechanics, because this is obviously like the mechanics plus one. But no, I think anybody could play it even if they haven't played the first one. There's just a little bit of a learning curve, and it does explain things along to you pretty well to you, but I would recommend being sober while you're doing it. Because there were a lot of moving parts, and my peanut butter whiskey didn't help. So
I'm so jealous. This is a game I really, really, really want to play. I'm very sad that Split Fiction and Wanderstop in this game, and Kingdom Come and Deliverance 2 was another game that I really wanted to play, all kind of came out around the same time.
They did.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah. And then the other thing that just came out during spring break and then I'm like, right, Katie, you're on a video game podcast. You should probably play like games and different games and, have a breadth of experiences so you have something to talk about. No, I'm just going to play Warzone till I die because Verdansk is back.
What does that
mean? So let me explain. Back in 2020, in those dark and grim days, Warzone came out. And we had this great battle royale on this map called Verdansk. And Verdansk was the perfect map. It's big, but not too big. Very well organized and populated with lots of cool points of interest. Like there's a downtown part. There's like a suburb part. There's a big old dam. There's a military base. There's all kinds of things. There's a grocery store. So much fun. My mom and I played that so much in 2020. And then they got rid of it and brought us Caldera, which was a terrible map. This terrible green volcano, boring map. And then after that, they gave us Al Mazrah, which was like the Middle Eastern map. And then they gave us Urzikstan, which was like the Russia map. And then they were like, oh, actually, we know what the people want. They want Verdansk. So we've gotten Verdansk back, and my squad and I are playing it, and it's so much fun. And the best part about it, and this is where you might be interested, Dempsey, they have created a boot camp mode where it's on a smaller part of the map, and it's populated with mostly bots and like I think 8 or 10 teams of, not even, probably like 8 teams of real people. And then they have a casual mode, which is the mode my friends and I play on. And it is the full-size map, just a regular battle royale, but it's 120 bots and 28 people. And we have so much fun with that because there's enough bots that you're like mowing people down and sniping headshots and you feel like a badass. And then as you get, the circle gets smaller and you get further into the game, you start to run into more and more real squads. And then you get that like strategy going on and that intensity, but it's not nonstop intensity. It's just great. It's so much fun. So that's what I've been doing with my whole life for the last
so
week.
many people on one map, 28 people to play together? That feels like a lot.
Well, the map is normal, like a regular battle royale is 150 people.
All on the same time.
All on the same map.
Okay. I
It's
don't
a
understand
huge,
technology.
It's a huge map.
I thought it was like 12. And then is that
That would be like a multiplayer. Like multiplayer would be 6-on-6.
Yeah, is that not what Call of
it's-
Duty is?
So not Warzone.
Oh my god,
Warzone
what
is
the fuck is Warzone?
Okay.
I thought it was just like
Oh
the
my
multiplayer part of Call of Duty, where like you
You just thought that I really loved multiplayer? No.
I don't know.
Oh my god. Okay, do you know what a battle royale is?
I know. Okay, so the idea is that the map gets smaller and smaller and pushes everyone towards the center. And then
Right. And you're playing in squads. So instead of like 2 teams of 6, there's 10.
It's crazy we're this far into knowing each other, and since day one, Katie's been like, I'm obsessed with Warzone. And only how many episodes have we done? Only now is Dempsey getting an explanation of what Warzone is.
I thought Warzone was just like the Call of Duty multiplayer maps.
No.
Where like but it's not that.
No. So there's 148 people split into teams of 4.
Okay.
And it's the
148
last
people?
Yeah.
Okay. That feels like a lot.
It's a lot.
Okay.
And that's why it's more fun when 120 of them are bots.
Okay.
So 148 teams or people in teams of 4, and you all drop at the same time. You have nothing on you but a pistol and a prayer, and you run around and you find weapons and ammo and armor and equipment and everything, and you gear yourself up. And then every so many minutes, the circle gets smaller and this deadly gas comes closer to push everyone together, and the circle will pull in different directions. So you're forced to play on different parts of this massive map. And what's really fun though is with Verdansk, more so than than other maps that came after it, you have to be super strategic. And we do what's called rotations, because it's a circle, right? And so the pinwheel is like the strategy most people would play, where you work the edge of the circle, because then you can kind of strategically clear out enemies in the direction that you're going, and you know that nobody's behind you. And in the later maps that followed Verdansk, they just made it so that people could move too freely. It was too fast paced. It was more like a team deathmatch. People could come back a lot easier. Now you get 1 life. You get 1 chance to come back. If you die, you have to fight in the gulag and win your fight. And then after that, you have to be bought back for a chunk of money. It's like $4,000. It's not a huge amount of money, but it's enough. And so you have to be like more precious with your life, because it's not as easy to come back. And you have to be strategic, because at the end of the day, when the circle gets to its smallest point, the team with the better strategic position is going to be the team that wins. So that's what I've always loved about Battle Royale, is that strategery. And so having that back now, it's really bad for the rest of my life, because I don't want to do anything else. I just want to play Warzone. I just want to win. I've been watching YouTube videos that show us like how to I've been doing drills like in the loading screen, like practicing my passive aim, like working on just getting my reticle where I want it to be and being able to keep it there as I strafe side to side. I've been watching strategy videos, like I want to be the best in the with casual Warzone. It's an illness. So, but this is the perfect time for people who don't play Call of Duty or don't play Battle Royales or Warzone to try it out, because there's like these 3 tiers of challenge. You have boot camp, which is literally the most baby beginner place to start. You will have so much fun and feel like you're good at things. Then you'll move into casual and you start to run into some proper challenge. And then once that feels easy, which it hasn't yet for us, you can go to regular Battle Royale, which is 150, 148 people or whatever against each other. And it's super intense and people are sweaty. But like that casual, that's perfect for a weekend warrior like me. I can play for, 3 or 4 hours on a weekend. I can work all week, do whatever, be an adult, and then still go and have fun and feel like a badass. So it's been too fun. And you should try it out. I see you online sometimes. I'm like, oh, that's Dempsey. You should come play.
Play Warzone?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have. So here's the thing. The thing about Call of Duty I like most is the zombies, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I understand about Call. I don't understand the campaigns. I don't understand.
Could teach you.
I don't understand the multiplayer.
Seth, you and Dempsey and your girlfriend, and we could be a squad of 4 and we could try boot camp.
Maybe leave my girlfriend out of it.
Okay. Well, she might love it. I'm just saying. I do.
We struggle to make the jumps on during Split Fiction.
Okay, fair.
Seeing a button pop up on the screen and then clicking it at the same time is a little above our skill set. So like
fine. Okay. Fine. Well, my husband won't play Warzone with me either. He doesn't like how toxic the Call of Duty community is, and I don't blame him for that. But anyway, it's super fun. Seth, what have you been playing as we're 47 minutes into recording?
Yeah, it's fine. This is how it goes sometimes. I had to look back on like my Steam library because I'm just like thinking about all the different things I've played recently. So, well, one, I moved, which is not gameplay.
Congratulations.
But it has consumed a lot of my time. Yeah, playing the game of life. So the new apartment setup was like fun just to like figure out, being like, okay, I want to play games, but like my computer is in a box. So like, what do I do now? That being said, it's also nice having just like the mental reset from like moving to a new place. And my desk here is kind of at like the far end of the apartment. I'm in an office, just kind of like here by myself. And most of the time when I'm playing games, I'm like, well, now I live with somebody and it's my girlfriend. So I probably shouldn't just like seclude myself in my room and play games by myself all the time. I mean, we'll get there, but like, we just moved in together. Mm-hmm. So I've been playing a lot more like PlayStation. So I went back and I was like playing Elden Ring. I just kind of like picked up an old character of mine. It was just like running back through. I was playing Split Fiction with my girlfriend. That was exciting because we played at least the first like third or half of It Takes Two, and then just never got around to finishing. So we started a little bit of Split Fiction. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. Same commentary as Dempsey had, I think. I don't think it's like super duper exciting, but it's good. I like it. Let me see. What else was I thinking about? Oh, it was really funny. So when we were moving, my friends helped us move like all the furniture and everything. We got everything in. My friends left. And then Rachel, my girlfriend, her friends came and like helped decorate. I was like, thanks, guys. My friends did all the hard, heavy lifting. Her friends get to just like be like, we think the art should go here. That's how they sound.
That's important.
But anyway, while we were there, they were like, oh, you have a Switch. And I was like, yeah. For the record, this was like not last weekend. No, it was two weekends ago. So it was, I don't know, the 29th or the 30th of March. And I was like, yeah, I've got a Switch. They're like, you have Mario Kart? I was like, no, but I mean, if do you guys want to play Mario Kart? They're like, yeah. She's got like 2 or 3 friends. They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, so if I buy Mario Kart, you guys will play it. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'll get Mario Kart. So I ordered it. This was like the 30th or the 31st of March. I ordered it. Not less than the time it took for that game to arrive to my apartment. The Switch 2 was announced and the new Mario Kart game. And
I knew that was coming.
Shit. So, lucky me. I literally, after this game has been out for like a decade, I was like, oh, I'll order it. Because in the back of my head, I had seen some conversation that was like, oh, somebody had speculated that the new Mario Kart game was going to be a launch title for the Switch 2. And I was like, yeah, but they haven't said anything for the Switch 2. So, like, we've probably got like a Christmas release for the Switch 2, right? And then the stupid Nintendo Direct is like, oh, it's going to come out in like 2 months. I'm like, fuck you. Piece of shit. But anyway. That was my exciting, yeah.
On that note, what did you guys think about the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct thingy?
Okay, we're just done with my segment. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, I thought you said you were done. I'm sorry. Sorry, keep going, Seth. I'm
God
sorry.
damn.
I talked for half an hour. Let's give Seth 3 minutes.
I'm sorry. I thought he said that was me.
No,
I
was like, I was like, all right, Katie's just going to use this opportunity to transition. And okay, I guess I'm done.
I want to know the rest of your stuff.
All right, well, I'll keep it quick, I guess.
Jesus, no, I'm sorry.
No. I won't take up a zillion hours of time anyway. But I played this fun game called Time Glitch.
I've heard of it.
It's kind of like a hard game to explain. The store page calls it a turn-based strategy roguelite. That's not true. It's how to describe this game. It's sort of like a dice-based puzzle game where you have like a Baldur's Gate style party of like 4 party members. And they're walking into the final stage of a dungeon. And it gives you like a series of dice rolls. And it'll give you like 4 dice rolls and 4 characters. And the trick is that when your party dies, because you're fighting like a super powerful wizard, everybody respawns, like time gets like turned backwards. But the dice rolls are the same every time. So the manipulation and the puzzle of the game is trying to figure out how to get all the different endings of the game. But with like, so the first time you do it, you're just like, oh, I need like a 20 to pass, or I need like a 17 to pass this roll. Only one of the dice rolled a 17. I'll put it there. And then like the next time it has you roll dice, you'll see that like this die is always going to roll 17 the first time. The rest of the dice roll like 2, 5, 9. The next time you go into that, you could instead like put the 2 in there. You'll like fail the first encounter, but then you know that like the next number that comes after 2 is like an 18. So like in the series of encounters, you can choose like where to put which dice, because it's the same every time, and it keeps a log of like, oh, this die is going to roll like a 2 and then an 8 and then a 15. It's like, it's hard to describe it, but like by choosing where to put the die, it like changes the story, because like certain characters will succeed, but other characters will fail. But then you like switch it for the next time. There's like certain, and then part of the trick is like using, okay, I'm going to use this die like 3 times in a row, because the 4th roll is always a 20. So then I can get like an auto success on like the hard part if I use like some of these other die a couple times. It's like, it's a funky little puzzly thing. Katie, you might enjoy it.
Sounds really fun.
I literally played it for like 20 minutes or something.
I just checked Steam. I already bought it.
Oh,
I'm not sure when. It's in my library. It's been there for God knows how long.
Well, it's like, so here's the thing. It's a $3 game right now.
Yeah.
And it has a total of 37 reviews.
Oh.
Like,
You should review it when you're done.
well, it says 100% of the reviews for this game are positive. I should leave a
All
negative
37,
review
that's
just to be
pretty
like,
good.
fuck you guys.
No.
But, you know, I don't even know how I found it, but, you know, when a game has 37, and that's not like 37 recent reviews, it's like 37 total reviews. I think I was just like browsing the Steam drudgery, and I just was like, oh, this looks cool. That is funny that you have also purchased this game.
I think I saw it on TikTok or something. Like I really like to buy games that nobody's played because like somebody
is one of
worked
those
really
games.
hard on it,
Yeah.
and I want it to be like seen.
Yeah, I played this
I
game
want
for
them
like
to feel good.
20 minutes, and then I got like, I don't know, 7 of the 30 achievements, and I was like, all right, I had fun. Some other stuff I got, there was a Steam sale, like the spring sale. I was, for whatever reason, on like a colony builder kick. That wasn't like a real thing. I just kind of like went for it. So I bought Oxygen Not Included and City Skylines.
I love City Skylines.
I played like a couple hours of Oxygen Not Included, and I might go back to that game. Like, I didn't hate it. I was just kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know why I'm doing it. But I guess that's most like colony builders until like something happens that's like terrible. And then I downloaded I bought City Skyline, didn't download it yet. I was just like, I don't feel like it.
Years
but,
ago, I bought City Skylines, and I bought $100 worth of DLC on my PlayStation for it.
Why your
That's
PlayStation?
crazy.
Because I didn't have a computer.
Oh, sure.
And I played a lot of it, and then something happened, and now, like, it won't run. It's really sad. But it's a fun game.
I wouldn't look at that experience in the face because it would be too painful.
It's been a few years.
I'm trying to figure out what's the next. Okay, so the reason I bought City Skyline is because I used to play an obnoxious amount of SimCity. And I'm trying to figure out exactly which one I played a lot of.
Did you guys ever play Sim Park? And it's like a national park.
I don't think so.
That's
Played
the
a lot of
opposite of a
SimCity 4.
national park.
Huh?
What?
Like a national park you're not supposed to manage? Like,
Well, yeah, but like this one, you're building it. Like there's nothing there. So then you have to like place plants, and you put in like
That's
the
cute.
elk were super cute, and you put all different animals and stuff. And then the aliens come and destroy all your hard work.
Okay. Well, anyway, the last couple notes of stuff I played. I've been playing just like casually playing a lot of Bloons Tower Defense. Still great. They just dropped an update like a few days ago to their like new roguelite mode. Made some pretty good improvements. I know when that just came out, I had made some complaints about it. But the update made it a lot more fun. So it's still like obnoxiously difficult. I still think like how many hours of this dang game have I played? Steam says I have 180 hours on Steam, and then who knows how many hours I have on my phone. So I've probably played this game for like close to 300 hours, and I still feel like my skill level is like here, and then like so many of the things in the game are designed for people with like a skill level of here. Like I don't know how many hours I need to invest in a game to feel like I'm capable of doing like the boss events.
it's crazy. That's a staple game for our podcast. It's like
it is kind of whack.
That feels like such a random game to be like a staple game of our podcast.
Whatever. It's cheap. It's fun.
It's great. I love it so much.
I haven't played it in a while, actually. I still have it though.
Yeah, go play it. Last game I want to talk about is a really dumb game. Have you guys seen or heard about Nubby's Number Factory?
No. Do tell.
Okay. I love the Number Factory, man. It's it's like a arcade strategy roguelite in the vein of like, it's like a pachinko roguelite, but it's not like Peglin. Peglin's like an actual pachinko. This is like somewhere between like
The sun will explode.
yeah, it's somewhere between like pachinko and like Brick Break mechanically. It also kind of has like, I don't know how best to describe it. It's sort of like an art style that's very reminiscent of like early 2000s, but also like Pizza Tower.
Okay.
Like, you guys know what Pizza Tower is?
Yeah.
I teach a student whose special interest is Pizza Tower.
Yeah, Katie, you work in special ed. You know somebody who knows a lot about Pizza Tower. But
it's Baldy, and it's scary. I don't know.
So it's got this like very, I don't know, very specific like art style.
Ugly.
Ugly is kind of the art style. It's like early 2000s ugly. Like Dempsey, you gotta look up this game. It's Nubby's Number Factory.
It's supposed to be ugly,
right? It's like very intentionally designed in a very specific way. But it's like roguelites often tend to be. Mechanically, it's great. Like I'm really enjoying the gameplay. In the kind of way that makes my brain be like, I want to go back to the Number Factory.
Oh yeah, this is like a Flash game.
Right. Yeah, it's designed like early, like it's got like an early 2000s vibe. It's got like a Flash game vibe.
It's like coolmathgames.com.
Yes, it's a cool math game style, which is a great way to describe it.
The kids still play that.
And it's just like a really tight, like Plinko roguelike. Like, I don't know. It's a ton of fun to play. It's worth trying. I don't know how much it is. It's like $5, and it's got a demo. Like, I think you guys get a little bit of enjoyment out of it if you wanted something to kill $5 on.
Yeah, there is a demo.
Yeah, it's bundled with Luck Be a Landlord,
which is crazy because I don't think it's even close to the same developer.
I tried Luck Be a Landlord and I couldn't get into it.
What do you mean you couldn't get into it?
Well, I was playing it on my Steam Deck, and I feel like it wasn't super well optimized for Steam Deck, like for controller.
That's probably true. Yeah, so, it's not a controller game.
It was terrible. So I was thinking I might try it on my phone.
It's great on the phone. I really enjoyed playing it on the phone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was going to ask you, Seth, do you think now with your living situation that you would be more likely to get a Steam Deck so that you can play games out like in the living room with your girlfriend?
I think that'll have to be a TBD because I think I'm okay. So even before we like literally moved in together, we were pretty much spending like every day together. Like I would get back from work, I'd get back from work, I'd be at my house till like 4, and then I would go hang out with her until like 8 or 8:30, and then I would go home, and then she goes to bed. Like we would effectively just hang out for the whole day. So like not a lot has changed on that front. I think right now we're still kind of under the modus of like every day is kind of like a hangout day. Like we just moved in together, so we want to like do everything together every day. And I think we will get into a little bit more of just like we like casually live together, and she's like, I want to watch New Girl, get off the couch, and I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go in my office and play games. But we're not there yet. Maybe we won't get there, and maybe I'll have to get a Steam Deck. But currently the problem is she does want to watch TV, and I want to play Elden Ring, and those two things can't happen at the same time.
Incompatible.
Yeah. So
that's why my husband plays he plays FIFA on like a little monitor because he prefers to be able to sit up like 2 inches away from the screen. So he has it on like a TV tray right in front of his face. And then I have my big comfy chair and I just pull, it's pretty lightweight. So I just like pull it over. So it's sitting like kind of right in front of the TV because I also have to sit too close to my TV. And I play Warzone and he plays FIFA right behind me. And he puts his headphones in because I talk too loud on the mic. I'm like really aggro and yelly. I'm like, over there on the left, watch out. And I like break his focus. So he puts headphones in. But yeah, we will play parallel to each other, doing our own thing. Almost never play together. But, you know, this together in the same place, that's okay. It counts.
I also need to make one more mention. It's not a game. I guess this is more an honorable mention because we're an hour and 5 minutes into this. Check out this sick-ass Lego set I bought.
Oh, wow. Okay, to describe to our audience, it is a space station.
No.
And it's got the moon and it's got the Earth.
Not a space station.
It's the
Not a
solar
space station.
What do you call that?
It's so it says planet Earth and moon in orbit. The technical
It looks like a space station.
No, the technical sciencey term would be it's an orrery.
An orrery. There we go.
So I only have it partially built. And our audio listeners, aka literally everybody, will not be able to see this. But so it's pretty sick. It's got like a big arm on it, and it's got a little lever, and when you spin it, it actually the whole thing spins.
Oh,
so it's
I had
functional.
there was a puzzle.
Yeah,
There was a puzzle like that on Tangle Tower, and you had to get the planets all in the right alignment to where they actually are in space. I know exactly what that is.
So this is pretty sick, and when it's all hooked up, you can spin it, and it's got the sun, and it's going to have the Earth and moon attached, and it actually, as far as I can tell, it's actually accurate to like the Earth, moon, sun position throughout the year. It has the months labeled on the sides, with little stickers that I put on there. So as far as I can tell,
is that going to go in your classroom?
Okay, so that's the thing I haven't decided yet. It's probably going to be a house decoration. I did pay for it with my own money. And I'm not planning on asking the school to refund that because then I would have to keep it in my classroom. But I might bring it in or take video of it because I'm worried I'm going to bring it in and some fucking kid's going to break it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now, I did get it on sale,
It's
though,
super
which is pretty
cool.
sick. It was usually...
How much does something like that run?
So this is usually $80, and I got it for $65.
Nice. Cool. That's fun.
So this is
Legos are real world Minecraft.
Sure, yeah. This was just really cool because I had literally talked to another teacher earlier in the year because to get like a real version of something like this, they're usually made because like the whole point is that like you have to get these like gear ratios to get the like differential movements of like the moon going around the Earth while the Earth goes around the sun. And that's traditionally done in clockwork. And I was like, no shot I get a like brass clockwork version of this for less than like half of what I make in a year. So when I saw this at Target in the Lego set form, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I actually saw this back in January and I was like, oh, I want that. And I was like, but it's $80. I was like, I got other things to spend money on. Until finally it was like late March and I saw it again on sale and I was like, it's going to be a moving in gift for myself.
Awesome.
So that's been
That's cool. I'm happy for you.
Little, for anybody curious, it's the Lego Technic Planet Earth and Moon in Orbit.
So cool.
It's pretty sick.
And what could they call it if they wanted to use fewer words? It's an orrery.
Orrery. Orrery.
Orrery.
Yeah, it's a lot of R's.
Whew. Okay. That's really mean for anybody who has a speech impediment.
Oh,
Oh, no. Okay.
So are we just like, what's the plan here? Are we just going to call
no,
it?
we need to talk about. We need to talk about the.
Well, okay, hold on. So
the
baby.
Switch.
Okay, because we are at an hour 10.
an hour and 10.
Are you
I have
guys-
other stuff I have to do tonight.
Are you guys available at all later in the week? We could like cut here and then we could do like a whole second episode.
A 2-part episode.
Yeah, like
Okay.
2-part.
Let's do that.
It's going to be in your podcast feeds as one part. So this is special because this is a cold open midway through the episode. I'm going to call attention to the edit. I talked about Demon Souls for half an hour, and so we had to split the recording over 2 days. So now we're going to talk about the Nintendo Direct, and that's it. No video games that we've been playing. And I guess I don't know how we want to do this. Seth has like a thing opened up. So here's the thing. We're not a news podcast. So this is not going to be any new information for people. So we can give our opinions and we can kind of connect it to broader themes about video games. That's going to be our goal.
Okay. So I just have like an IGN article with everything that was like announced. Do we just want to like roll down the list?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just go one at a time.
First thing first, thoughts on game chat?
I have no opinions. I will not use it. I use Discord for when I call people a lot of times when I
So here's my thing, and this is what because I feel like one of the reasons
phone call.
like one of the few reasons I actually like play my PlayStation sometimes is because I know my other friends play PlayStation, and therefore like when I get on, I might have the opportunity to like talk with somebody who I would just like reach out to anyway. So like it's kind of one of the things I'm at least excited about for that is like it bridges a communication gap, which is like right now if I'm playing my Switch, it's like just me. But like I could play my Switch and see that somebody else is online and be like, yeah, just open up effectively like a Discord call or like a party chat and be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah. And I think for parents, if I was a parent, which I'm not, I would not want my 8 to 14-year-old to have Discord. But I would be okay with them being friends on the Nintendo chat and I know who that person is.
Yeah.
So that's another feeling about it. It's like if it's like I think for parents, this is a really safe way to make gaming social. And especially because I think Nintendo puts a lot of parental controls around the Switch too. So I think if I had children who had friends that had Switches, this would excite me more. But I'm not that person.
I feel like so I was watching the Direct and I was like, oh, okay, maybe this is not going to be well received. But I was watching this thinking, this is such shit. I am not going to spend any of my real money on this. Honestly, I was like, who the fuck is going to buy this shit? And then I was like, oh, this is the console for children. Okay. But I don't think of gaming as a children's pursuit because I'm a grown-up who does it. So I'm like, grown-ups play games and children play Minecraft and Fortnite. And that's kind of it.
Minecraft catching a stray? Like
no, it's just that like all of my students play Minecraft and Fortnite.
That's true.
And in fairness, they play Warzone, which they should not, but they do. So so I can see that perspective that you've come from, Dempsey, where it's like, actually, that's like a very accessible thing for children and people with children. I don't know why I'm saying children like it's a swear word, but
children.
probably because we're in midterms of fourth quarter and I'm just sick of them all at this stage. But yeah, so in that case, I was like, okay, but as I was watching this whole thing, I was like, why does everything Nintendo do? Why is it all like 10 years behind the curve?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's because they want to see the risk mitigation failures and successes of other consoles. Like Xbox voice chat is known for being horrific as like a social institution. It's like that's the stereotype around people's experiences with Xbox lobbies. And so I do think that Nintendo waiting so long to have an open social capability has let the norms and technologies evolve to where you can make it safer. And obviously parents have to be a part of this as well, but they have like the parental app. So I do think that on some level, I appreciate Nintendo being slow to adopt radical changes because it makes them feel more secure when they do.
I think the problem is
Plus
is it a radical change when like PlayStation and Xbox have had this technology for 20 years?
Thank you. 20 years behind the curve, actually. And on top of that as well, like, it seems, I'm sorry, I'm not super pro Nintendo. I'm a little biased, I guess. I'm like, they just sit on their laurels and they know that people will buy because of nostalgia and because that's basically it. Like, right? Like, all of their intellectual property is 100 years old. And all the adults buy it because like, oh my God, I played Super Mario when I was a kid. And the kids
they still make good games. What are you talking about?
They still make some of the best games ever made.
Oh. They don't have to do anything risky or new because they know that people will just continue to.
Have you played Tears of the Kingdom?
Their recycled stuff.
Have you played Mario Odyssey? Like,
yes.
Yeah,
I've played that one.
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's like legit. Oh, it's fine. You say like
okay.
lauding a Call of Duty game as if that's not the same shit every day.
No, it is. It absolutely is. But it's had voice chat for 20 years, so.
Yeah, well. Okay, so Dempsey, on your point, I want to add to this because don't forget, the Switch 2 is also going to have a camera attachment.
Yeah.
And as part of the whole like social aspect of like game and party chat, the fact that they're going to have Mario Party games and like Mario Party is going to show your face in the game is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
It's very good.
I hope you could do that in like can you imagine the toxicity of like a public Mario Party game and it's got the person's face? There's no way you're going to do it public. It's got to be like game chat only. But still, I can't imagine like the level of crash out of like I'm playing Mario Party with somebody remotely and I can see them gloating to me. Fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never played a Mario Party game before. So
Mario Party's fun?
No, I've never played I actually am not that into Nintendo. I'm positive towards them, whereas Katie's negative. I have a Switch OLED, but I have a Switch. I've not played that many games on my Switch, especially since I've got my Steam Deck. I'm much bigger, which is something I want to talk about is how like where we feel like the Steam Deck plays into this. But
I have thoughts.
I do think there is something. My favorite part of this chat thing is that you can be in other games and see what someone else is doing. And if
That's cool.
I do not think I have that kind of relationship with anybody. But for people that do have that kind of relationship with people where you literally just want to spend time seeing what the other person is doing, it does seem like very nice to kind of just want to like spend a copious amount of time with someone, be vaguely aware of what they're doing. It seems like it runs at like one frame every 2 seconds, which is very funny. You get like a snapshot of what they're doing like once every like 1.5 seconds, and then it's in like 140p, so you get like these geometrical shapes that are moving across the screen in stop motion.
You can actually see what they're playing. Like you can see their screen almost like a screen share.
Yes. Yeah. So let's say you're playing Super Mario Odyssey and they're playing Breath of the Wild, and you can see each other's. So like you can put them in a little box on the bottom of your game, and you can talk and both be playing your own games and kind of seeing what they're up to.
Oh, that's kind of cute. That's nice for like long distance relationships of various types.
My friend does that with his girlfriend, but it's usually like games he's playing on the computer. But I can totally see both of them having like I guess the weird thing though, I guess like both of you need like a Switch 2. So like both me and Rachel aren't gonna get a Switch 2. We're gonna have like one for the two of us. But like we live together, so that's different. But I have a friend of mine is like into streaming and used to stream a lot on Twitch, and I would just watch him stream sometimes, have it on in the background while like I'm playing a game. So like I get it, But that was him like going to an audience. It wasn't just like one-on-one.
Sure.
Yeah. Is it really a selling point, or is it just like a little gimmick that they're like, well, we'll just add this in?
I think to Dempsey's point, it's a good selling point for parents who like don't want to let their kid on Discord, but like the kid wants to like communicate with friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you would let your 12-year-old kind of hang out with their other friends on that, and I think that's fine.
Yeah.
A lot safer than giving them, Discord. So.
Yeah.
That's fair. Or letting them on mic on Call of Duty, which absolutely baffles me every time I run into it. I'm like, nope, you're muted. I will not interact with children
Don't engage
online.
with me.
This is not a safe place for you. Like, don't do it.
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay.
What's
what
next
else is on
thing?
our list? Remind me. I want to talk about pricing, but I think I want to do it later.
Okay.
What about...
Except the one really dumb shit I want to talk about. You guys remember the Switch 2 Welcome Tour game that's going to be paid? Which is the wildest.
So I think
it's $10.
Yeah, I think that is the mass consensus that that's a really stupid decision. And I tried to play devil's advocate with and there's no way to play devil's advocate with that. Like there's no generous reading of that. That's just a really stupid idea because it's like Astrobot, right? Like PlayStation had a much better tech demo built in, but it made everyone feel more intimately like there is a value proposition for the company with those kind of tech demo games because they make you feel like you're more competent with the machine that you're using. It's like I feel like I understood my PS5 better because I played Astrobot than if I did not play Astrobot, like the pack-in game. And so it would be nice to boot up your Switch, get used to the controls with this little tech demo thing, and that's the first 30, 45 minutes you spend with your Switch. What a good experience that they'd no longer have access to, which is really fucking stupid.
Well,
I'm so angry that that's not the first thing that I play.
Think about the culture building of Astrobot or Astro's Playroom. To me, that's part of the defining feature of the PlayStation 5 is Astro's Playroom because it's so good. But also think Nintendo itself. Wii Sports is literally culture
100%.
defining, and it was packed with the Wii. And they've blown the opportunity for something like that by charging $10 for a tech demo.
Yeah,
I think
they're just gonna clown on them for now.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I don't want to be overly cynical because I really do I liked my Switch. Now I have a Steam Deck and I don't care about my Switch, but I don't want to be overly cynical, but I do feel like my overall takeaway from the whole thing was just this monstrous greed. And that was what I took from it. Because so many of the games, I started looking them up because I was like, wait a minute, these are familiar. I started looking them up and they're all old games being re-released or remastered or ported over. And I'm like, really? Nothing new? Very little that's new? Huh.
Well, it's also the
have
release of a
new
new console, right? It's going to take some time for developers to actually put stuff out.
Well, okay.
And also, I know there is an audience that only plays on a Switch that now has access to mouse controls. I want to talk about the hardware a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there is going to be an audience that has access to games that they couldn't play before, so Cyberpunk games that require a little bit more power that just could not be handled on the original Switch, and they're going to have access to mouse controls without a proper gaming
really
PC.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be on developers to utilize that. But I think if Nintendo models how that can be used really well, and I think maybe they have some good partners early on, like Civilization, which will benefit greatly from mouse support. Then that's going to give people access to games that you could think only would be available on PC and other options. Like it would be cool. I don't know if they're ever going to get a Baldur's Gate 3 port. I think they can, and then having Baldur's Gate 3 mouse support, I think that's an option that you can see realistic on the Nintendo Switch. I don't know if it's happening, but
enough?
So that's the downside. I don't know. I don't think it's powerful enough. I mean, Baldur's Gate can run on a Steam Deck, and I think it's a little bit more powerful than a Steam Deck.
Okay.
So yeah, I think because your Steam Deck can't really output 4K.
Is Elden Ring playable on the
60
Steam
frames a second.
Deck?
Yes, at 30 frames.
Right. Okay. Because the Elden Ring version for the Switch 2 Tarnished Edition is, I think, a down powered version of Elden Ring, from what I understand. Like it's
like visually, like they're just taking details out. Your bushes aren't going to have as many leaves and things like that.
Yeah. Well, like because I think that's the reason that they're calling it like the Tarnished Edition, is that they've had to, rather than like a game that drops with like, hey, new like 4K textures, they're like, hey, we've reduced the textures so that this game is playable on weaker hardware.
It runs on your console.
I think if it runs smooth, that's okay. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
If it's a good experience.
I do think the mouse controls are very cool, and I am excited to see what they're able to do with that. I think that will open up a lot of options for what kinds of games are able to be made for it.
Am I the only one who thought they looked dumb as fuck? I saw them I saw them pull the Joy-Con off of it, and they're like, you can use it as a mouse. And I was like, fuck no. That looks dumb as hell.
It just depends on if it works or not, because so the game that they gave us to demonstrate it wasn't great. That wheelchair basketball game.
It looks cool as fuck.
Yeah, it looks like a neat game, but it doesn't really showcase the functionality of the mouse function that well. So I do think they could have maybe given us a little more with that.
So watching content creators who, this is all secondhand stuff, obviously, but who got to play it in New York, they all report that the mouse feels good.
Oh, okay.
Cool. That and the big example of that is Cyberpunk has full mouse support, and then Metroid 4 has full first-person mouse support. And they said that it feels really good.
Cool.
They did say that they were not allowed to go into the menus to fix like sensitivity and things like that. But they could see a world where you have a mouse and then kind of your other controller is basically the equivalent of hotkeys. And
or
so
like
that's kind of
like a movement stick, but like with a mouse, like sort of.
Yep.
Hybrid. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be cool for like and something like Metroid, like games, first person games that we previously like haven't been able to play first person will be really cool. Oh, how cool would it be if they dropped like a Switch RTS Switch to RTS that uses like the mouse controls, but with like hotkeys on the other like controllers, so you could essentially play like Warcraft 3, but like a Nintendo RTS or something.
Sure.
Yeah,
like,
that would be really cool.
That would be wild, but yeah, that could be interesting.
I think it'd be really interesting to see if they could do something like, have you guys played Stacklands? It's
I think
it's a card game roguelike.
Well, I've definitely played
builder?
it, but yeah,
it's like a civilization builder where you
it's a weird one.
Lay down cards, and the cards are like your civilization, and you. Oh, my cat's yelling. If you can hear that, I'm sorry, listeners. He's very offended that I closed the door. But anyway, I played that on my Steam Deck, but I have to play it with a mouse. And so games like that would be like mouse-only games, like point-and-click games, things like that might be something that could be developed for the Switch, since that's a built-in function.
Yeah, and so there's no version of this where I'm not comparing a lot of it to the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
But a nice thing about the Switch is that for people who don't want to tinker, they still get a mouse. Because the Steam Deck, you kind of have to have some peripheries, and you have to have some like extra elements to get a mouse working. Like you have to have the dock.
And,
Yeah. And you got a good mouse and things like that. And I hear that you don't need a mouse pad, that the Joy-Cons are in such a way where You don't really need a mouse pad. People were saying that they can play literally on their leg, and they were getting good feedback from any surface.
Cool.
That's cool. Maybe this is going to be like the Steam Deck Lite, like the beginner Steam Deck.
Sure. Yeah. I do think I'm happy the Steam Deck came first, because I do think that might have, and maybe it wouldn't have, but I think there's a possibility that pushed Nintendo to be more creative with their offerings here.
I can see that.
Like to do things that the Steam Deck didn't do. And I don't think there's any version of a Steam Deck where you could take off one of the controllers and use it as a sideway mouse.
No, that is wild. That
such
was not on my bingo
idea.
card.
That's such a dumb idea, but I think it's great. I'm very happy Nintendo's doing it. So yeah. Okay, what's next?
We could talk some game stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I want to talk about Mario Kart World. I have opinions on this game, and I have not played it. People have said it's very fun. I do wonder, because I think the only thing, in my opinion, one of the only things that makes open world games interesting is, so there's the inherent joy of exploration and discovery, where you go to a new place and have a novel experience there, experience new environments and things like that, which I'm not worried about that at all. I think it'll be fantastic to drive around. I do wonder if there will be RPG mechanics, elements. Like if you will be able to upgrade your cart and things like that. Because if it's just going places to like unlock characters and things like that, I don't think that's as satisfying as feeling like you're really underpowered in this area, you're doing a bunch of races to get better, and then you're competent, and then you can move to a different area. Like, I don't know. I just feel like Mario Kart doesn't have strong like upgrade mechanics, obviously, and I don't know if you can make an open world that's massive and fun to traverse when there's really not a lot of external motivation to do that. Mm-hmm. Like in Horizon Forbidden West, for example, like the further you go, the bigger dinosaurs you get, the more complicated combat tools that you have. And the same thing with Elden Ring and like literally every open world game. I've never played a Forza game, but I assume that Forza you can kind of upgrade the kind of cars you can get. You can get better cars and things like that. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm really interested to see like what the overall game structure is going to be. What's the motivation for the open world?
Mm-hmm. I think it'll be interesting. I don't have a ton of experience with open world racing games. The only one that I've played was the Burnout Paradise, and I was too attached to the previous Burnouts to really give it a fair shot. So what I hope with it is that it will be kind of like you're saying, like it'll be that natural progression of like where you could access a race, but you can't beat it yet because you need to go back and do other things first and get up to that level. And then that would be motivating. Like otherwise, I know that I would just fall right off.
Yeah, or like there's like jumps or big loops that you can't, you don't have enough boost to make it past yet.
Yeah, it almost,
I don't know, some kind of progression.
Almost like a Metroidvania open world.
Yeah, I'm thinking it almost needs like a campaign, or was I telling this to you guys that I think it'd be really cool if it was like Simpsons Hit and Run, but in like the Mario Kart world. The idea that like, it's mostly like open world, but there's like little missions and side quests that like you can do to like, or like, I don't know, maybe you need to like pick up Toad at the one part of the map and like drive him over to the next part of the map. But then like
the idea
along the way there, like some other like Goombas and carts come up to you and they're like throwing bananas your way and like shells and...
The idea of Mario Kart with like a solid, coherent story is so funny to me. But I think that's a way that they could handle this is by giving it a narrative. But that is such a funny idea for some reason. The idea where you have this like really structured narrative experience in your Mario Kart game. It doesn't feel very Mario Kart to have like a storyline.
Yeah, but again, I don't think it
You
even
could
needs
have
to be, right? It could just be very like radiant and be like, oh, like there's a little mission over here, little side quest over here. They're sort of like randomly generated. You do like enough and you get points. Yeah, you can get like little upgrades. And then maybe, hey, once you get your like max speed upgraded 5 times, you can finally make that jump. And there's like a special cart that's like up in a cave in the mountain or something. And
Sure.
So the mission is really like the campaign would be like, gotta catch them all, get 3 stars on all the maps, like collect all the. Yeah, they could even bring in, because it is Mario. They could bring in like that Mario side of things where you're trying to collect all of the stars or whatever, like you did in that one. Which one was
Odyssey?
it? Galaxy.
What?
I don't know. Galaxy? Mario Galaxy? Something like
Mario
that.
Galaxy, Mario, all the 3D Marios? What are you talking about?
I don't know. It's like you collect all the stars in the different areas or something.
You're literally describing every Mario game ever.
Okay.
Yeah, so Mario 64 it's stars. I think Mario Odyssey is moons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's cool. I'm being sassy. Trying to be positive. Okay.
What do you guys think of the
So
new
will
Donkey
you buy
Kong?
it in June, even though you just bought Super Mario, or since you bought Mario Kart 8?
Yeah, let's not talk about that. What do you guys think of the new Donkey Kong game? That looked cool.
I have a dream. And my dream is a Donkey Kong game that you control with the bongos, but 3D Donkey Kong.
Wait, wasn't that actually a game?
No, there's a 2D platformer where you control with bongos.
Oh, you want a 3D one?
Which I own. I want a 3D one that you control like a you control Donkey Kong like he's a skid loader, where you know, or like. Anyways, it's fine. I have no affection for Donkey Kong. I'm sure it'll be a polished, fun experience. I don't know if I'm going to pay full price for a Donkey Kong adventure.
See, and that's kind of like the price, and this is where the pricing thing I think starts to get to me is like, because I get it, and I've been having this exact conversation with people for a while that like games have been the same price since like 2005. Literally, like Xbox, PS3 came out, games were like $60, and like it hasn't changed. And like you run the inflation from like 2005 to 2025, and games should probably be in the like the $90 to $100 range. But also there's like the price of living problems, and like is a game worth it to me if it's like $90? And it seems like we're going into a recession, and am I gonna be able to afford a Switch 2 that, who knows, might cost $650 with tariffs, and then like $90 for a game. And I'm like, okay, like the way I was mentally thinking about it is if a game was $60 before and games are $90 now, I can essentially buy 2/3 as many games. But that doesn't account for like the principle in an economic sense. Like I have to drop $90 for a game instead of $60. And then like, is the game worth $90? Like a game might be worth like $60. But like if I was maybe going to play a game for $60, if it was maybe worth it to me at that price point, it's probably not going to be worth it to me at 90.
That's how I feel about the Donkey Kong game. Is that if this was a full price game and I heard it got good reviews, it might be worth it.
Apparently,
but
it's only going to be like 70. But still, like,
is that going to be the Switch cost? Is 70?
Yeah, like apparently games aren't gonna, at least for the start of the console release, they're not all gonna be like $90. I think like certain ones are gonna be like the upper price point of 90. They could be anywhere between like 70 to 90. But
man, I still wait until it's on sale for $5 or less on Steam. Like,
I know, right?
No. I felt bad spending $20 on Citizen Sleeper Starward Vector, a game that I've looked forward to for years.
Yeah, I have games on my Steam wish list that go like 50% off for like $15. And I'm like, if it was like $5.
Right. I know. And I'll be honest, I didn't see the Donkey Kong part. I didn't know there was a Donkey Kong one. That's cool. I love Donkey Kong 64. That is a killer game. That's a great game.
This is
I
like
played that a lot when I was a kid.
This is like Super Mario Odyssey, but it's Donkey Kong.
Okay, so that's probably going to be super fun if it's anything like the previous one, because I loved that game. It had fun levels. It was so cool.
I think the gimmick is like everything is destructible. So you can beat up anything and then break it.
Yeah, it looks like Mario Odyssey, but with destructible terrain, which is cool.
Okay. Well, that's cool, though. But I just don't see myself spending
$90.
Nintendo prices. And Nintendo never goes on sale.
No.
So I don't see myself getting the Switch 2, honestly, because I have a Steam Deck. And the Steam Deck fulfills all of my needs and wants. And I have a PS5, and that's my Warzone machine.
I think pretty much the only reason I'm getting a Switch 2 is because, to me, it is the sort of like family friends console in my brain. And I'm a bit of a Nintendo fanboy. And inevitably, like, Nintendo is going to come out with games that I want to play. And especially like when it comes to, I think, like the more party games, I'm like, oh, like I do want to have friends over for the social aspect. I do want to have friends over and play Mario Kart or play Mario Party or play the new Smash Bros. When it inevitably comes out, or like the next generation Pokemon games are going to be on Switch too. So like a lot of, I guess, just like a lot of my favorite game genres or a lot of my favorite like game series are Nintendo games. And this is kind of what's up next. And like, I guess I've just kind of accepted that. But also like the amount of those games I can buy has gone down because I just can't like justify the monetary purchase.
That's fair. Can we talk about, are we ready to talk about the one yet?
Yeah.
The new Kirby Air Ride?
The what?
The new Kirby Air Ride?
Silksong?
Yeah, Silksong.
Fuck.
Oh. Okay.
It's okay.
Is it too soon for that?
I mean, there's nothing to say about it. I think I follow, over a dozen people who have accounts dedicated to Hollow Knight and Silksong. Like, that's the majority of their content. I think that there are differences between the footage shown here. Like, it was new footage. They blurred the backgrounds a little bit to make the foreground elements more clear, is kind of the biggest change that I've been seeing. I think that this was always tied to the Nintendo Switch 2, and the Nintendo Switch 2 was supposed to come out earlier, and that's why Silksong is taking forever. My biggest Silksong take is that it's actually going to live up to the hype.
Ooh.
That's my Silksong take, is that we're going to play it and be like, oh yeah, Metroidvanias are the best genre in video games. And this is one of the best games ever made. I think that, because when you go back and you play Hollow Knight, it doesn't feel bad compared to games that are coming out now. Like, it feels like if Hollow Knight came out now, it would still be an incredible game.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's not super old, to be fair.
It's like 2017, right? 2016? Something like that?
2017, yeah.
It's like 8 years old. I mean, it's an 8-year-old game.
I feel like games that, like, I was playing Batman Arkham Knight recently, and that came out in 2015. I feel like games that have come out in the last 10 years or so, maybe even 15, if the mechanics were strong then, they're still strong now. A lot of the time, it seems like. And also the same thing with like graphics. Like, graphics haven't improved, I think, that exponentially from then till now. I think what we're seeing more of, and I'm not really knowledgeable about this sort of thing, but we're just seeing that there's like more, because of the higher processing power of computers and stuff, they're able to do like more of that, maybe. I don't know. But I agree with you that like Hollow Knight doesn't feel like an old game And the way that the Silksong looked in the brief 2 seconds that we got to see it, it looks like it's very much staying in the same vein of the art style and all of that stuff, which is, I think, a good choice. Well.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be very good. I think it's going to be really well received. I think people are going to, I think when it comes out in gaming, it will be a moment. I don't think it's going to, like Citizen Sleeper 2, although Citizen Sleeper is an incredible game, I don't think when Citizen Sleeper 2 came out, it was a moment in games.
It's a niche. That's a niche game. Not a ton of people. Like, it's not the same cult classic as Hollow Knight at all.
Yeah, and even when like Baldur's Gate 3 came out initially, when it first came out, when it was released, it was not a moment. It was kind of like the slow build up to everyone realizing that it was very good. I mean, there was like the core audience who were part of the early development, you know, and they knew it was good, but I don't think it got really wide appeal until a couple months later. But I don't think it's going to be like that for Silksong. I think Silksong is going to come out. I think the core audience of like Mossbag and that person who like for the last like 1,200 days has been making a video every day. Hey,
that's a good one.
With no Silksong.
That's some devotion.
News. And I think the meme status, I think because it's a meme, people won't sour on it. Like I think that it has, you know, like when you tell a joke over and over again and it's funny and then it's not funny and then it becomes funny again. I think the anticipation for Silksong has swung all the way back around the other end where like there's so many layers of irony to it. It's just fun to participate in some way.
Totally.
And I think that has softened people's, people. I think
that is a game I will buy full price.
Yeah. I think like, cause I think if it came out in like 2023 or 2024, I think people would have been kind of sour about it. But I think it's beyond that now. It's just
like
it's a fun thing to be.
It's like what happened with Elden Ring. I mean, like I went back and looked recently. There was like a 2.5 year gap in between like the original Elden Ring trailer and then literally getting any other pieces of information. And like, not that FromSoft was like a low key company by any means at that point, but I feel like Elden Ring like really shot FromSoft into like the mainstream audience.
Yeah, it was like competing with COD for sales the year it came out.
Right. So, but like leading up to that, the community was like batshit insane pre Elden Ring coming out. I mean, the posts were completely unintelligible. Everything from like people literally just like posting pictures of like Wojaks like crying and screaming to like people inventing like fake lore and then people like making art of the fake lore. Like it was a whole rabbit hole. And there was a famous like meme on the subreddit where somebody took a picture of the director of. So this is how somebody knows that I know what the hell I'm talking about for the subreddit. Somebody took a picture of the director of Elden Ring and made him 1% more transparent every day until he faded out, and then they made him 1% more transparent every day until he faded back in. I don't remember that second part super well. They had another one where they were like rotating him 1 degree every day. Like it was just like, that's the level of the meme that we've like fallen down into. So like
how I feel about counting down to summer.
Right. So like Silksong's there now, right? Like we're just memeing about how long it's been.
I would say Silksong is more mainstream.
Totally.
As well. I would say the anticipation for Silksong is more mainstream than the anticipation for Elden Ring. Like literally everyone who touches anywhere near core single player games had, and I think I don't think Nintendo recognizes that for obvious reasons. the fact that there wasn't a feature about it. Like,
I couldn't believe
I
2
think-
seconds of video. I was
It's
like,
crazy.
yeah, I can't. That feels so
what? Just brushed over
disrespectful.
that.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
we're gonna
I couldn't
get
believe that.
I think Team Cherry is eventually gonna do their own like Silksong Direct. Like not through Nintendo, but they'll call it like the Silksong Direct because that's what we call it these days.
Sure,
It'll be like a live stream on their YouTube channel.
sure.
I
So
was scared
speaking
for a
about
second.
FromSoft,
I was scared
no,
for a
sorry,
second
Katie.
that it was going to be exclusive to the Switch, and then I was going to be like, God, I have to buy it for that. But it's going to be on everything.
Speaking
so
of
that's okay.
exclusive to the Switch, FromSoft.
and FromSoft,
yeah.
So, so this is what I know about. So Seth knows more, but I'm going to talk first. So this is what I know about this game. It is directed by the main guy, Miyazaki. So it's like it's his baby. Because Night Rain is not, right? Night Rain is another director at FromSoft. And it is a PvPvE. So it's going to have a lot of online elements, which has been controversial.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that?
I think it's so some of the other commentary about the game is it's a foray away from what FromSoft has traditionally done, right? Which is like really strong, like mostly single player experiences with like PvP aspects, where a PvPvE will be interesting, especially following up Night Rain, which is I think really intended to be more of like a co-op PvE, which is outside of like FromSoft's idea too, like multiplayer like focused games. That being said, like the game is the Duskbloods. It looks really cool. Just first, like theming wise, it's like a diesel punk Elden Ring, sort of in the vein of Bloodborne. But to me, it looks like diesel punk Bloodborne, but in the Elden Ring universe, which is like an insane string of words that just sounds awesome, like thematically.
I like the rat with wings.
Yeah,
don't
there was a
understand
weird
what
like
a
frog
diesel
with
punk
boobs.
Yeah.
Which if you
The
haven't-
dinosaur werewolf is pretty cool.
yeah, there was a train, and I was like, "Damn, that's cool." The jetpack was like wild. So
What
everything.
is diesel punk?
What?
What is diesel punk?
It's like steampunk.
yeah.
It's like that, but like more diesel-y. So it's got like trains and it's more like engine-y. Think like Industrial Revolution version of steampunk.
Okay. Okay.
So like thematically it looks cool. Mechanically, as far as like the PvPvE, I mean I'm interested. I think I'm gonna have to really see how like Night Rain comes out to be. I am interested by the fact that it is directed by Miyazaki because I think everything he touches turns to gold. But in a good way.
Do you? So that's what I was wondering. Do you think that this will be that these two projects, Night Rain and Duskblood, will be like non-canonized FromSoft games? Like you would say, like there's the core FromSoft games, and then there's like the non-canon one, like not like as in like you know how they made the Bible or whatever, and they some of the books got to be in the Bible and some of the books didn't.
Huh.
Okay, first of all, you're talking about the real Bible, not a Bible that FromSoft made.
That's
yes,
what I
you were
also
talking
thought for a
about
second. I was like, what? What?
Yeah, I know what Dempsey's talking about, but he's relaying it in a very odd. So,
Well, like because we don't think
is
of
Night
Armored
Rain
Core
going to be
as
the FromSoft Apocrypha?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we don't think of Armored Core. When you think of FromSoft Identity, you don't think of Armored Core, even though it's a FromSoft game.
All right, this
Right.
is the
I don't
most
think
2010s take I've ever heard, but continue.
And I do not think that these games, maybe it's because I have no interest in multiplayer games. I don't think that these games are going to be like accepted as like
I do get what
part
you're
of
saying.
the FromSoft canon.
the capital T true gamers will not accept it as part of their lineage of FromSoft games
Well, I
that
think
they
it's
had to
more
get
like-
good at.
Right, because like FromSoft has come out with other games, obviously, other than like the Souls games and whatever else. But I don't know. I think it really will come down to how successful Night Rain is, because the multiplayer elements across the Souls games, I think, have been on the spectrum from controversial to successful to engaging. Like, invasions play a fairly critical role in, I think, understanding the multiplayer culture around the Dark Souls games. Like, they would not be what they are, I think, if invasions were not a thing. And I think invasions, as much as certain people hate them, I think they do play an important role in like understanding why those games exist the way they are. So, like, has FromSoft actually taken enough from that and refined it to make like interesting cooperative experiences? Because the cooperation in the FromSoft games is always fun. Like, I've always found it fun to like hop in with another person. They fumbled it a little bit in Elden Ring, because I think they didn't want you just like exploring the world with another friend, which I'm not really sure why.
That was a waste of an opportunity, because I would have played that game if I could have played it with my brother. But having to play it by myself was a big no for me.
Well, like, you can do it like in dungeons, like you could do like the legacy dungeons co-op, but like not explore the open world, which I found odd.
Mm-hmm.
And there's mods to like fix that kind of stuff for PC. But then, like, so are they going to take the cool ideas and build on them, right? And then are they going to like scrap some of the ideas they don't like? And I trust FromSoft enough, both as like a company and as game designers and as like people who make good games, to make another good game.
Do you think they'll have extra monetization? You're going to get a Night Ring battle pass?
I am sort of interested in that. I hope not. It seems like out of their style. Like, they've never done something like that, as far as I can tell. And I could see it working. Like, if they wanted to make Night Rain like a live service game, but I feel like that would go very negatively with the community. And I think that would be a pretty big blow to FromSoft, like, as a company, and the sort of like gaming culture that they've cultivated, to turn like Night Rain into a live service game.
Yeah. Well, you just talked about trust, and I think it would be a betrayal of that trust.
Yeah, which sounds like direction. Silly, and sounds like very parasocial, now that I like think about it out loud.
I don't think so, though, because I think every company is reliant upon the trust and that of its fan base or its consumers, Sure. And when that trust is broken, then we cease to want to consume it. Like, I didn't buy, so I love Warzone, but I haven't bought the new Call of Duty because I don't trust it to be any different or better than the previous 6 iterations. And it's so, predatory in its practices and the way that they do a yearly release. I'm like, nope, I'm not going to give you any more of my money. I'm going to keep playing Warzone, but I'm not going to buy COD.
Right. And it's sort of, to me, it's a Pandora's box, I think, for FromSoft to implement like a live service game or a game with some sort of microtransaction, because, or to like even introduce it later, right? Like, if you release Night Rain and then down the line we're like, oh, hey, we're releasing like extra maps or like extra bosses. I mean, aside from like, DLC is different than like what I'm describing, right? Like,
right.
Yeah.
But for them to say like, hey, we're moving to like a live service model, I would be concerned for like Elden Ring as a game, or like whatever else they release down the line, because now we're just getting like paid weapon drops or something, and it just gets like put in your inventory, and you're just like, oh, okay, whatever, dude, I don't care.
That's a really good point. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dempsey.
No, okay.
That's a really good point, because the whole point from what I hear from people who play FromSoft games a lot is it's all about the skill level, and there's no easy mode, and the only way to get, to beat the game is to get good at it, and blah, blah, blah. And so if they make it such that you can, in a sense, like pay to win, then it does actually completely undercut the whole culture.
Right. Like part of I think the ethos of these games is like the game is asking you to be challenged. And if you're going to, like, if you're introducing monetization in the form of like a microtransaction, right? Like, people are only going to buy that if it offers them some sort of like edge over the people who don't buy it. And therefore you undercut the very ethos of why you exist as a product in the first place.
Right.
Yeah. The thing that I am thinking most about with Duskblood is opportunity cost. And I know I don't have much interest in the multiplayer aspects of From games. From my very limited experience of playing Elden Ring and a little bit of Sekiro and now making my way through Demon Souls, what I do love is the curated moments of surprise and delight. And whether that's mean-spirited or not, because I think a lot of those surprises come from the game saying, fuck you. But like that's still like a really affectionate, experience. And so
you thought of me.
Well, yeah. And so that's the only thing I'm like, well, I wonder if there's still going to be those moments of wonder and those moments of surprise and those moments of delight. And because I think FromSoft is like when people talk about FromSoft, like the experience of hearing someone talk about FromSoft and they're like these really difficult, like that's not what I'm experiencing right now as I'm going through Demon Souls. Like you do level up, absolutely. Like you can farm for some things, and the game does give you the tools to succeed. Like it rewards experimentation, and there's like a lot of moments of light. There's also, I don't know if I want to say this. Well, there's also some small, I think, horny element of these games.
I knew you were going there.
Can you describe what you mean?
So,
by
like, no, there's no depth to that. Only that sometimes there's like little tiny horny elements to these games, and I think like that attention to like in Elden Ring, it's that woman that you lay your head on her lap and she'll like stroke your hair. And then like it's this very like strange, surreal, affectionate piece. And then this like kind of relationship you have with like this person who's telling you to get a maiden and things like that. And then in Demon Souls, the woman that you go to level up is always like, you have to touch the demon inside of me. And like the most
she's also barefoot
voice ever. Yeah. Yeah. And she's like, she's very, I think very clearly, like I think it's a game made for straight men, and so, but like that's, I don't. That's a weird. Anyways, I'm just saying that like these games are complicated and have like a vision to them, and like there's more to them than like just being dark and difficult and depressing. And it worries me that if they focus on multiplayer things and like, even if it would like approach becoming a live service, that all these like really curated specific vision pieces of it will be sanded down. I want my like kind of demonic, a little bit sultry person that I go to level me up. Like that's an element of these games that I really like, and I don't take that from me.
It's crazy because you're okay. You are spitting a little bit of truth in that. FromSoft has great level up characters. But yeah, this is a thing I've actually, I don't know if I mentioned on the podcast, but I've mentioned a lot to friends before that I don't think the Souls-like formula works as like a roguelite or as a like a looter shooter. Or like a Diablo or like a Borderlands,
Sure.
or where that has like randomized weapons, because there's so much intentionality that goes into the design of the FromSoft games. And like the weapons are very specifically like tuned and designed. And if you were to randomize them, you would lose some of the magic of like finding a claymore in the new FromSoft game and being like, I know what that does, because they've used the same claymore moveset for the last God knows how long, decade and a half. Or like, I went into Elden Ring knowing that the Moonlight Greatsword was going to be in that game. I didn't know where in that game, but it's been in every FromSoft game for the last decade and a half. And I knew I wanted to use it. And by God, I ended up my playthrough with this game's version of the Moonlight Greatsword. And I was like super happy with that. And that's part of the curated experience that this game is going for, that I do think really gets lost if it's just like, oh, it's just another random sword that has a legendary effect that like shoots ice. You're like, it loses some of the soul of like what that is as a like series.
And like I would say like in Demon Souls so far, different weapons really change the way that you approach even simple enemies. Like if it's a long sword, or if it's like the thing with the ball at the end, the spiky ball, like the pole with the spiky ball at the end.
A mace?
What is that called? A mace. There we go. like your guy moves different, and like you have different options and things like that. And so I think, and it's just so, I 100% agree. There's so much specificity to them. And I think, I don't know, I just worry that will be lost, because you have to make different kind of systems. I don't know. But yeah, that's my only take, because I want FromSoft to stay vision focused.
But I think they're good about that. I to this point, their games have been very vision focused. I don't expect Night Rain to be any different. I don't expect Duskbloods to be any different. It's just like a different vision that they're pursuing. And they invented Souls-like, so they'll invent something that's cool and new too.
Sure. Okay. Cool. Is there anything else on the list worth talking about?
No.
We talked about Silksong. We talked about Mario Kart. We talked about the Switch itself. We talked about pricing.
I was going to make one quick mention of something Katie talked about, which is like they're doing like the Switch upgrades to like Switch 2 for like games.
Oh yeah.
Which
how much is that? Do we know how much that is? Like, if
I don't know.
I own Tears of the Kingdom digitally,
right?
So it's going to be in my library. So
like but I don't know how much it's going to cost. But like if it costs more than like $10,
that's messed up, man.
My ass.
I do appreciate the game share aspect, that they're like, you can do a game share for multiplayer games up to 4 people.
Oh,
I think,
yeah.
or
That
up to
was
3
super
people,
cool.
3 or 4 people. I thought that was really cool. But I mean, that's got to be in response to like games like It Takes Two and things like that, making a friend code more normal. And then like the Steam family library, where like Steam was like, share your library of 1,000 games. We cool. Like with 4 people in your family.
Sure.
They had to move with the times somehow.
Yeah, I think finding games that really benefit from that will be exciting. It would have to be. It needs to be games that already support co-op, I think. Like
sure.
Baldur's Gate, you could do that with. Like, I'm just thinking like it would have to be games that already are co-op games. But yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then the upgrade path is funny because that means that they're going to artificially cap your game's quality if you don't pay for the upgrade path, which is so funny. So I own Tears of the Kingdom. I can get Tears of the Kingdom running on my Switch too, but if I don't pay the extra $10, I don't get the benefits of having a Switch too. That's so fucked.
Which isn't it crazy too? Because like PS5 has, like, if you had a game on PS4, they just like gave you the PS5 version for a lot of games.
Backwards compatibility.
Yes.
And they were just like, hey, it also comes with like better textures and it runs better. And
right.
Yeah.
Again, it sort of feels like Nintendo's like 20 years behind the game.
Gaming as a whole,
Right.
as a technologically and as a culture.
Which is silly, but
Yeah.
you know, whatever.
Well,
I guess
we'll see.
Speaking to that point, did you guys see that the app that you could play with like Tears of the Kingdom, so you could get like a GPS that's like in your game?
No.
That's so.
You didn't see this?
needless and
They have like
stupid.
they have the apps for the different, like the Nintendo app has like different games. So like if you're playing Tears of the Kingdom on your Switch, there's essentially like you can go into the Nintendo app, the Switch app, pick Tears of the Kingdom, and then it'll give you like a Tears of the Kingdom specific section where it kind of has like a little like bestiary and encyclopedia, but then it also has like a live map on the app that you can click a spot, and then it'll give you like GPS directions based on where you are in the game. It'll be like, oh, go north for like X.
It's a quest ping that you can put on.
Yeah, but like it like
from your
reads
phone.
out to you to be like, oh, go north for like this for like a minute, and then like go like west.
Oh my god,
It's
you
a
get
literal
Siri
like
in your
in-game
game.
GPS, but for like it's
No,
so fucking
that's
funny.
silly. Wow.
Imagine. Okay,
I can just
hold on.
run
okay.
in the direction of my ping.
They should give me that
for
from Mario Kart.
We're gonna. Okay, so imagine a game that has a really fun mobile-friendly crafting thing where you can like do the crafting puzzle on the app just as a phone game, and then you get those items in the game. So let's say like there's like
my
a fun
gosh.
crafting puzzle for meals or whatever, and then you can play it like a phone game, and then you open your game and that's all the meals that you
That's
make.
kind of funky, like a sort of like, imagine Animal Crossing, but it had like a cooking mama like mobile app that you could like you could do like side activities on, and then it like impacts your game the next time it like syncs up.
Imagine you play, it was a game like Minecraft, but you would make, in real world, you'd make something with Legos like your orrery, and then you take a picture of that, and then it uploads it into your game.
Cool too. I'm thinking of like
Okay, Katie.
right.
Katie, I think we're all really tired. I think we all want to stop talking.
Yes.
Katie, the one thing I want to talk about before we end is the adaptation, the Apple TV adaptation for Murderbot. The trailer has dropped.
Excited.
How do you feel about the trailer?
I love it. I can't wait. I think that Skarsgård is a fantastic casting choice, honestly, for Murderbot. And from what I saw of it, his timing is going to be excellent because Murderbot's a funny being, and it's like comedic timing is one of my favorite parts of the book. So I'm super excited having seen what I've seen. And also, like, I love Rati and the whole crew from the first book and throughout the series. So I was really excited about all the casting choices they made, and it looks like they're going to be very fidelitous, which I know that Martha Wells, the author, was deeply involved in the creation of this. So I'm very, very excited.
That makes me feel good because the books have so much tone to them, like the monotony, like his experience and his competency. That's the thing I want, because the idea behind Murderbot is he is not horrible at his job, but he's very distracted. But when he
they're
focuses,
very good. They just don't give a shit.
Yeah. And so I want him to feel like a competent person. And if they lose that, that's going to make me feel sad. But yeah, there's a bunch of tone things that I'm kind of like, there's such specific vision to those books.
No,
you know,
they're
that you
very
have to
good
get
at their
right.
job, even when they're only half-assing it. So
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
And so
I'm
yeah.
stoked. It comes out May 16th, and I've never been so
Which is
excited
close.
for anything on
Which is
television.
very close.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't
So-
wait. I'm actually re-listening to the book right now, which is just coincidence. I'd forgot the show was coming out. So I'm listening to the first book, All Systems Red, again, and it's so good. Like, to our listeners, please listen to that audiobook. Reading it is fine, but listening is really the treasure because Kevin R. Free is an incredible narrator, and just brings Murderbot to life. It's such a great series. It's my favorite book of all time. So, really good.
Somebody say the date. Today is April 10th.
It is.
Yeah, I'm trying to say the date. Yeah, so today's April 10th. So all of that context was, April 10th is when you'll listen to it. Okay.
Well, and this is going to come out probably, next week? So it'll be not too long.
Yeah, well, yeah, it'll probably come out this weekend because there's nothing else.
You're awesome.
We're caught up. We have no more back catalog.
Oops. All right.
So thanks so much for listening. If you have opinions about the new Switch 2, how it relates to the Steam Deck, if you're going to get the Switch 2, opinions about Mario Kart, RPG mechanics, or prices, let us know. We'd love to read your opinions. I know we have listeners. You guys comment on our TikToks and send us emails of other stuff. And so, let us know what you're thinking. Emails in the show notes. And besides that, thanks for this extra long episode. We haven't posted in a while, so I thought it was appropriate to come back with kind of a longer
Double header. Cool. All right. Well, thanks. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Okay, bye. Okay.
Hey, it's 10:30 for me.
I know. I'm so sorry, Seth. I will